This is a Red FM Vancouver podcast. Make sure you hit subscribe for more great content. For further info, log on to redfm.ca.
ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਦੇ ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਮਸ਼ਹੂਰ ਵਕੀਲ ਬਲੇਨ ਤੋਂ ਲੈਨ ਸੌਂਡਰਸ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਬਾਰਡਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਕੰਧ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਆ, ਮਾਫ ਕਰਨਾ, ਫੈਂਸ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਆ, ਕੀ ਇਹ ਲੀਗਲ ਹੈ? ਕੀ ਉਹ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਨੇ ਅਮਰੀਕਨ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ? ਪੈਰਲਲ 49 ਦੇ ਨੇੜੇ ਇੰਨੀ ਕੰਧ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ, ਉਹਦੇ ਕਾਰਨ ਕੀ ਨੇ? ਮਿਸਟਰ ਸੌਂਡਰਸ, ਗੁੱਡ ਮਾਰਨਿੰਗ.
Hi, Harjinder. How are you?
Very good. Thank you very much for joining us.
No problem.
So, about that fence they are raising here on the border, do you think it's illegal that's so close to Parallel 49?
Well, at first when I heard that they were erecting this fence yesterday on the American side, I was very surprised because in order to build any structure within 10 feet or 3 meters of either side of the border, you actually need the okay from what's called the International Border Commission. Otherwise, it's a violation of what's called the Treaty of Ghent from 1812. But according to some of your colleagues who followed up on the story yesterday, the Border Commission actually gave their consent, which surprises me. But the reason why seems to conflict with what is said publicly. So the Border Commission said this fence has been erected for a safety purpose, whereas Customs and Border Protection and Border Patrol said it's for to stop illegal entries. And so the reasons seem to be suspicious due to that conflict of what the two agencies have said.
Is this gesture is more than a real fence? Because this fence is not an ordinary fence. I've seen the pictures. It's a like heavy, thick posts with big cables. Is U.S.-Canada relationship is kind of not as good now? What's happening? I mean, are they doing it to stop people who were doing in the ditch and going in the ditch and meeting each other? Some spouses and lovers were meeting there.
Well, it seems like what's happening is it's preventing a lot of families, and I know in the Sikh community, you have a lot of families in Whatcom County and a lot of families in the Lower Mainland who have been using these areas along Zero Avenue to meet, and there has not been illegal crossings. People have been following the law. But it seems like those are the people who are being affected by this new fence. And it's not just a mere fence that's only a few inches high. This is a fence it looks like it's 5 or 6 feet high, and it's there solely to prevent people from crossing back and forth, not for safety reasons, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned yesterday that the Berlin Wall was built that way too. It was a fence in the beginning.
Well, exactly. So I thought back to, what happened back in Berlin in the 60s, and the East German government put up just a small fence, almost identical to this, and then eventually it became a larger, more fortified wall. So my concern is it's the slippery slope. Where does this end? They put up a small fence, and then something larger, and then a wall. And it's interesting because, for all practical purposes, the border has been shut down. Very few people are crossing back and forth. There's no foreigners coming into Canada right now. So I don't know who they're trying to prevent from coming into the U.S. because most Canadians at this point, and I'm sure yourself included, have no interest in coming to this country. They see the high rates of COVID-19 numbers coming out. They hear about the death rate. Most Canadians are scared to come to this country, so I don't think you're going to see them trying to sneak, over the ditch into the U.S. when they're quite happy staying up in Canada for safety reasons.
Mm-hmm. And my last question is that, that wall in Mexico wall, Steve Bannon, he tried to raise some funds. Actually, he raised some funds, and he's a former White House advisor, now has been arrested. Do you think that arrest will make some changes and they will think twice to have fence here?
Well, it definitely doesn't look good. I read those media reports this morning myself, seeing that this former Trump advisor, very senior advisor, has been charged with fraud. So I think it's very bad timing putting up this fence. They say that it was approved over a year ago. Why are they putting it up now? It just looks bad, and who knows, at some point, is this going to go across Peace Arch Park, too, and prevent Canadians from coming down and seeing family members in the Peace Arch Park just north of where I am. So that's my concerns, and it's definitely troubling.
Anything you'd like to add in closing?
No, I know, most of us in Whatcom County, we miss all the Canadian visitors, so hopefully the border will be open soon and all of our Canadian friends will be traveling down here and going to Costco and visiting family members and vacationing in this county. So we definitely miss all the Canadian visitors.
Mr. Saunders, you are an American immigration lawyer. Are you noticing that a lot of human smuggling going in this area? That's why Mr. Holiday was saying that it'll prevent human smuggling?
I don't think there's a lot of smuggling going on in this area. I think if people wanted to cross the border illegally, they could have. I haven't heard anything, because there isn't much of a deterrent until now. I haven't heard of an uptick of illegals. I know a lot of people have been fleeing the U.S., going up to Canada, a lot of Syrian refugees. So if anyone should be building a wall, it's the Canadian government, not the American government, from my point of view.
Thank you very much. Would you like to give any email or any telephone number?
Sure. So my number in Blaine is 360-332-7100. And as you know, we have staff who are Sikh here who speak Punjabi. So if anyone has any questions and they want to ask in Punjabi, they're more than welcome to call our office in Blaine.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Harjinder. Have a good day.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to another Red FM podcast. Don't forget to hit subscribe and check out our Red FM Canada YouTube channel. For further info, log on to our Red FM social media platforms or visit redfm.ca.